You are a living legend, MiChaeL aLaGo. You are. So everyone in the world knows who you are, pretty much. And your bio alone, like, you know everyone in the world knows who you are. Many
people do. Yeah, sure. I guess it depends on what circles you travel in.
Well, the cool circles.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I'll buy it.
Yeah,
sure.
It's true. But right now you're pushing photography that you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I was an A&R person for 23 years.
Yeah.
And I worked with
Yeah.
lots of artists. And,
didn't he remind you a little of Metallica?
No.
Not at all?
No. But that's okay.
Why?
Because everybody has their own sound and does
Yeah.
their own thing. And it's always nice when somebody is original and just has their own voice.
Yes.
So.
Okay. He's definitely.
He's good.
Yeah. All right. So what were the highlights in your A&R world?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Well, I guess when I signed Metallica, summer of 1984, I guess they were like the biggest band that I wound up signing overall. But they were just extraordinary, you know.
Are you friends with them still?
Yeah, I'm going to see them next Saturday at the
Where?
Big Floor
in
Indio, California.
Nice.
Yeah. It's part of this whole show with Anthrax, Megadeth, and
at the Ritz. I mean, those were my favorite nights. I spoke to one of Metallica's mothers on the phone. They once called, and one of them called once too. But Anthrax, Megadeth, they used to have those nights all the time.
All the time.
Those were my favorite nights. Those metal nights.
Mine too. Yeah.
Soundgarden. So wait, when are you going, and what is this metal? So are you a metalhead?
Well, I love metal. The noisier, the better for me. Yeah, I love white noise. It gets me excited. I like the energy of it all. Sure.
Really?
And I like that it's always filled with sweaty boys in leather.
I have to say, I know I have skeletons from those nights at the Ritz because I worked in the box office.
What did you do in the box office?
I took the money, and the best nights to work were nights of metalheads because they would never take their change. We would make so much money on the nights of those metal nights because it would be like $17.50, and they'd give it $20 and walk away. We loved those guys, and they would always have like black Leonard Skinner T-shirts and jeans, and they looked like great adventures, you know, like.
Did you flirt with all of them?
It was busy. We didn't care. We just loved those nights because we would, you know, some of them were fun to flirt with, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. It was always fun.
Did you have long hair back then?
Let's see. I guess in the 80s I did have long hair. Sure, yeah.
Did you play an instrument?
Nope, didn't play an instrument. No.
So, all right.
I guess my musicality just comes from being a fan, loving music, and I guess just having great instincts.
So what did you do at the Ritz?
Oh, at the Ritz? The Ritz was my first job ever in the music business. I was Jerry Brandt's assistant.
Okay.
So when I got there, I just answered the phone.
That's what I did.
Opened the mail.
Oh, look where you
I got people's lunch.
Wow.
And then as time passed by, I opened the mail some more. And I just kind of learned about the size of the room and how to book artists. And I spoke to agents. So by the time I left, I was actually almost like director of acquisitions or something. I don't know what you call it. No, A&R came later. I know that I didn't forget. Although my brain is still coming back after all the years of drinking. But what was your question? What did I do there? That's what I did there. So by the end, I was actually booking bands there at the Ritz. And then after that, I started working at Elektra Records. And I worked at record companies after that for about 23 years.
So when you were there, though, did you work in the day or the night?
I was there in the day, but
so
a lot
did
of
Yanni
time.
take over after you? Did you know Yanni? No?
Yeah. You mean after I left?
Yeah.
No, Marty Diamond came in and
okay.
started booking.
And
the artists
Scapino.
there, and Mike Scapino was there. He was wonderful.
I know. Scapino was the best.
Absolutely.
So back to like your photography right now, because Scapino, did you see him at the end?
No.
Like, he looked like someone in your book.
Uh-oh.
He had a total transformation and like looked like a goddess. A god.
A god.
A god. He did, like Adonis, I mean.
Wow.
He this was our manager at the Red. Yeah, he was a crazy guy. He had a lot of skeletons in that basement
Office.
VIP room. I loved the VIP room at the Ritz. It was fun, but like
when they moved up to 54th
yeah,
Street?
downstairs.
So it was downstairs.
Yeah. Did you ever go down there?
Yeah, I went down a lot.
Yeah, it was a fun. It was a fun area. But your photography book is out. Is it out? Is Is it coming?
Yeah, it's a new book. It's my second book. It's called Brutal Truth, and it's basically photographs of men, bodybuilders, tattooed men, scarred, men that I'm
Caroline is
attracted to.
ruling on that.
Sorry.
Yes.
So I just kind of photograph who I am attracted to.
So do you just stop them on the street and say,
I sometimes stop people on the street. Yeah.
Is that how you get your...
If they look cool and
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Is that how you get most of the people?
I find people online, and I've been really lucky that if I've taken somebody's portrait and they like it, and I always tell them if you have friends that look like you, give them my card, and it's like telephone. It just kind of
Like that Fabergé commercial, like
Correct.
tell your friend. And so how long have you been doing photography?
Well, I've been taking pictures my whole life. I love pictures, and when I traveled on the road to make records or see new artists, if I picked somebody up at night, I always Polaroided them. So I always had a camera.
Warhol-esque? Do you like Andy Warhol?
Well, I love Andy Warhol, of course.
Yeah, because the Polaroid, you kind of think of him, right?
Yeah, well, yes, but all my Polaroids were erotic. And when I think of Polaroids,
like how erotic?
Pornography, X-rays sometimes. Yeah.
Now, does it just happen in the moment, or do you plan the shot?
No, it happens in the moment. It's whatever's going on. It's stop here. Let me take the picture. Get out.
Oh my God!
I'm a little ruthless.
So all right. So let's just lead into your skeleton in the closet because you're so wide open as it is anyway. So do you have a good juicy skeleton?
It's so funny. I really don't because I'm an open book.
It doesn't have to be private. It could be a story. Do you have a good story?
A good skeleton.
Just a little story of something that happened in your...
Something happened in your life.
Yeah. Can you think of anything back in a club in a VIP room somewhere?
Well, there's always good stories. I can remember a good story, but it's not a skeleton.
All right, that's okay.
I remember once I was booking the Peppermint Lounge, and it was my birthday.
When's your birthday?
October 13th.
Okay.
And I do remind people in advance.
Today's your half birthday,
April 13th.
So happy half birthday.
Yeah, sure. I remember this one time, like I said, it was my birthday, it was the Peppermint Lounge, and Iggy Pop was playing for 5 nights in a row, and I loved Iggy Pop. So one night he said, come to the bathroom with me, and I thought, okay, what's going to go on? And he said, well, just, go in the stall at the end, and I'll meet you there. And I was like, okay. He goes, but when you go in the stall, take your shirt off. I'm like, well, this could be fun. I have no idea. So who's sitting in the stall but David Lee Roth? And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? And sorry, my shirt's off, but Jim said to take your shirt off. So he said, well, come sit down. So I just sat there. We were all a little out of our brain. So we were drinking champagne, and there were a lot of, can you say this stuff?
Yeah, you can say it.
Illicits going around. So Jim comes in, Iggy comes in the stall. We close the door, and I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen now? I was so excited because I love fucking David Lee Roth.
You can say
David Lee Roth, and Iggy is my idol. So he took my shirt. He had a ballpoint pen, and all he did was he took the ballpoint pen, looked at me sitting on David's lap, and drew a picture of us sitting together.
Oh, wow, do you still have it?
It's somewhere in my closet, so to speak.
In the closet,
right.
there you go!
But it's definitely an out of the closet story. And then after that, we just drank some more. And I remember taking David out that night, and we just kind of wandered all around the city, and we wound up at my office really late at night at the Ritz. And I don't know, good time was had by all.
That's funny. It is National Peach Cobbler Day. Would you like to try this peach cobbler?
Well, no, not really, because I just ate and I brushed my teeth.
Do you want a peach candy for later, maybe?
Sure, I'll have a peach candy.
Awesome. I met David Lee Roth on the roof of Danceteria once. You remember that roof?
Yes.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
4 o'clock in the morning.
He was a funny guy.
He was great.
He was
awesome.
hiding on the roof because he said his bodyguards were downstairs and he didn't want to leave, and he was he just told story after story after story.
Well, who was a great storyteller too, God rest his soul, is Kurt Cobain. There was a day when I was at my office at the Ritz, and it was just early morning. I had a really cool office, lots of art books, and somebody stuck their head in, and it was him, and I was like, oh my God. Because, I always approached everything from a fan's point of view, and I think that's why I did so well in my job. And he came in, we said hello, and I said, I love your record. I love Nevermind. He goes, well, can I hide out in here? And I was like, okay, why are you hiding out? And he said, because Bryn, our publicist, is looking for me, and I really don't want to do anything this morning. And it was the night of Saturday Night Live. So, I don't know, I just let him sit there and close the door, and I was on the phone doing my thing, and I have no idea why I'm telling you this story, except I guess it's just
so
another good rock and roll story. And he just sat there for hours looking at books like a little kid, and he was just marvelous.
Aww.
My favorite word, marvelous.
That's nice. So, how do people find your book, and how do people find you?
Well, my site's called Rough Gods, ROUGH Gods, one word, roughgods.com. I'm on, like my last addiction in life is Facebook, so under MiChaeL aLaGo, I'm always on Facebook doing stuff. I still make records if people ask. They don't ask because when you're not in the loop, they don't look for you. But I just made Cyndi Lauper's new record, Memphis Blues.
She once hid, well, not hid, but I used to sell makeup when she was.
Were you like screening movies?
I was at Baroni. It was on West Broadway. We used to sell white mascara, and, all those funny colors back. It was like Stage Light. Do you remember that?
Hey.
Well, anyway, she was in the store. Remember when she was managing that wrestler girl?
Yes.
The two of them were in there, and there were these girls in there that were she's talking in her voice and this and that. And they're like, oh my God, Cyndi Lauper. And her little hair was sticking out of a hat. And they were like, you Cyndi Lauper? And she's like, no, it's not me.
Oh.
I know. And then she paid with an American Express credit card. And guess what it said? It did.
So wait a minute. Who's this? I don't know
you. Why don't you say
You're quiet.
I'm Paul.
Hi, Paul.
How are you?
I'm good.
And I run a website called streetsnyc.com.
StreetsNYC. Okay, that's cool.
For
Dark, late at night.
Yeah, musicians and bands that will make a profile page, promote their music.
Oh, cool.
Their events. We have an events calendar. We tweet everything. We share on Facebook.
It's always great to support new artists.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, all the time. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he's the co-host today, but he was overwhelmed with all your energy.
Yeah, incredible.
I know. He was just absorbing and listening to.
Didn't know where to jump in, so.
Yeah. So
nice being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
please
much.
come again anytime and share many stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love having you here.
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
be right back with
Great.
one more guest on ReW WhO.
And I'm going to take my cane.
Peach